Cool. Cool, 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 cool. He's a racist because a coordinator beat him up as a kid.
Yeah. All right, we are calling all Gundam seed pilots. Are you ready to double your deployment? Join us on Patreon and get double episodes dropped right away. Once we reach 30 patrons, we'll bring double episodes to YouTube for everybody to experience. So fuel your Gundam addiction on Patreon. So let's build this community together, join Patreon, and get those double episodes of Gundam Seed.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone Face Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Justin, and we are back to another episode of Gundam seed. First up though, we have a couple of comments. We have Woo Woo, or Wee Woo, from Patreon, for the episode Into the Dawn Skies. Really loving your guys' journey through seed. While a divisive show, I think it's enjoyable to see different viewpoints on events. This last act I can't wait to see the discussions on, then onwards to Seed to Destiny. Again, that would be interesting watch to see y'all's opinions. About Jesus Yamato, for some reason, Japan loves him. A hit in polls? Not sure if it's because of his character or the memes around him. LOL.
I could see that. Also appreciate the support. I could definitely see it being a pop culture thing with memes. Because I'm an old person who doesn't pay attention to any of that stuff. So that could definitely influence.
I mean, obviously, I don't know. The joke we currently make, not you and me, but you and Lessons, because that other show that we watch, Macross.
Yep. The one that never gets talked about.
Well, we bring up Macross 7 all the time. The main character of that is Neki, and he is like number 2 in polls of favorite Macross character. But he is also the most annoying character that I think I've ever seen in that show. So it's can't figure it out. Can't figure out why he's so popular. I think it's probably because he's an idol and he sings like 80s rock songs, which is just more popular to me than the other idols in the shows, which sing like electronica or pop, J-pop.
Okay.
So, because otherwise he's a character who doesn't like tell you anything that he's thinking. He just, you don't get it, walks away. That's all he does. So, I don't understand how he's the second most popular character in the entire series. Anyway.
He just has an edgy backstory that's yet to be discovered, okay?
Yeah, we finished the show and we haven't discovered his backstory. All they ever show him doing is wandering. Anyway, next up, David Butt from Patreon, The Land of Peace. I know you're far past this point right now, but I just became a patron today, and I want to clarify something you seem to be confused about in this episode.
Okay.
Kaohsiung is not part of Orb. You misheard or misread something. Sorry. You misread the line of dialogue about Kaohsiung in episode 1. They did not say that Zaft attacked Kaohsiung, which is their homeland. They specifically said that Kaohsiung isn't that far away. Will the homeland be alright? And that although they're close, we're a neutral entity. You must have misread the scene and assumed that Kaohsiung was part of Orb, but it was... Sorry, I'm choking up here. But it never was or ever has been. So when Zaft attacked Kaohsiung, they were not attacking Orb. They were attacking a nation of the Earth Federation, and they were worried because Kaohsiung just happens to be near Orb. Don't have much to say about the other arguments, because I kind of agree that some of the stuff with Orb being neutral is confusing and doesn't make complete sense, given what we've seen at the time of this specific episode, and that since Zaft attacked Heliopolis, your point still stands.
Yeah, that makes sense with the Kaohsiung thing as well, because if it is close but they're a neutral nation, that means that they could just as easily be a target for whatever is coming next.
Well, I mean, to what was said at the very end, sure, if I've been wrong about Kaohsiung this whole time, then okay. I don't think it really matters at the end of the day. Sure,
No.
it matters to be right, I guess, that I was wrong about the Couch Young thing, but at the end of the day, it is, ironically, still exactly the same day that they say, oh, they're attacking Couch Young. I hope the homeland will be all right. It's nearby, or whatever you said there, that they attack Heliopolis. So,
Oh, absolutely. No.
so even if I am
That's
wrong
not
about the whole
adjusting whatsoever.
even if I'm wrong about the whole Couch Young thing, they still attack Orb in the same day that it gets mentioned. So, as you say in the comment, it doesn't really change anything.
Correct.
All right, next up, another comment from David Butt, also from the Patreon, but this time the episode is The Turning Point. So this HD remaster kind of screwed up the ending of this episode with a really lazy edit and the ending change. So the new ending is exclusive to the HD remaster. In the original broadcast, the ending song changed in episode 14, but the visuals remained the same until episode 40, when the ending changed completely to ending 3. Also, this edit had a really lazy edit during Nicole's death. In the remaster, it shows the Blitz trying to attack Kira, and the Strike backing up and trying to move his sword away from Nicole's cockpit to avoid killing him, and then Nicole runs into the blade and dies. In the original version, Kira dodges the Blitz's attack and swings his sword into Nicole's cockpit. So the HD remaster tries to make it not Kira's fault and also makes Nicole look completely incompetent.
Yes, they do.
Well, I'm pretty sure we had a whole conversation about that.
We did.
So, I mean, it does make one person look stupid for no reason. Also, I believe we had a whole commentary about how Kira never swings his blade that way, except for this one time. It's a really Han shot first situation.
Correct.
All right, well, how about you go ahead and tell us what happened last time?
Last time there was a whole bunch of fighting because it was a continuation of the attack from Earth Federation or Earth Forces.
That's a problem that I've been having when I've been writing my notes out. Because I'm pretty sure in this show it's the Earth Alliance.
Yes.
But it's Earth Federation in Universal Century Gundam, which we're also watching. My other problem is also that I'm not actively like doing a reaction series to it, but I'm watching other reactors react to Babylon 5, where you also have the Earth Sphere Alliance. So it's just like in my head, I've got so many
either way
things.
Earth Alliance beforehand was like, yo, Orb, you got to join us. They're like, no, fam. So they've just kept on bombarding. And it got to the point where the day was going to be lost. So they started evacuations. And it fighting. I'm gonna say the leg ship because I want to say white base, and I know that's not what this technically is. The leg Archangel. So the Archangel has officially been sent back into space with our crew. And then once they were in the air on their way out of the atmosphere, that's when the commander of Orb, or the head honcho of Orb, was like, okay, so now that everyone's out of here, we can do what we actually wanted to do. Blow it up and take out so much of Earth Alliance's forces. So it ended with ended with Orb being sacrificed and us going back into space.
Well, I mean, the way you're describing it makes it sound like the Alaska base situation all over again, which wasn't the point, I don't think. It's the conversation that we've been having during the Universal Century Gundam thing about why Zeon is invading specific points on the Earth.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that my argument in there versus Leston's argument about resources has been denial of resources.
So this was denial.
Yeah. Well, I just mean the way you said it made it seemed to imply that they were luring the Earth Alliance in to
No.
kill them. But again, that was what Alaska base was.
This was more of a failsafe in case something were to happen, versus them luring it in as the plan. This was them having to go to their like big red button.
All right. Well, all I have left is a couple of notes here. Not as many as normal because it's more an action sequence of the last 2 episodes.
Hell yeah.
In the mid-episode roll, there are 3 Gundams in front of the Archangel. It seems to be a shot from the orb battle, but something seems a bit off about it. One is obviously the Strike, and the other is the Freedom, but the middle one is far pinker than the Justice, if that is meant to be Atherin's Gundam. It's also got this gun-like thing projecting from its shield that the Justice doesn't have, as far as I can remember. So maybe this is a future Kigali Gundam. I could be wrong, and it's just the Justice colored lighter for the role, so who knows.
I think it is a future Kigali Gundam, or it's a Flay Gundam.
Flay is currently on the Zaft side of things right now.
Correct.
The thing is, you've got to also take into account the amount of episodes we have left versus the expected action that you're trying to predict. So, Kigali being on the side of the people who have Gundams, or the majority of Gundams right now, makes more sense that she could get into a cockpit at some point, versus
100%.
Flay, who has to get rescued, then express a desire to pilot a Gundam, and then get into a Gundam.
I'm thinking more Flay fighting on the other side.
Again, this is a shot of everybody, like, on the same side.
Yeah. However, that was just more throwing it out there because of color coding.
All the girls have been put into pink uniforms. Except for Flay, who's now actually wearing a green uniform.
Yeah, that was it.
Just after the first orb fight, they don't really show anything but the character's exhaustion and depression. But the background chatter really goes a ways to showing how awful things are. Forget the stretcher, get a body bag. The right leg must come off, bring the saw. We found it, the left arm's here.
Yep. The kind of firepower we're dealing with, like, that's the stuff that would happen.
I don't know. Kind of firepower we're dealing with. I feel like the thing to do would have been to show. Do you ever see Starship Troopers?
Nope.
One of the KIA, MIA screens is just a long list of scrolling names of people who haven't been recovered from the battlefield yet. One of those sort of things. Well, because you say the degree of weapon that we're dealing with, I would assume, would be vaporization. Bodies left unfound. So
I think if we had like this freedom or justice going after going after the tanks and stuff, yes.
The new Earth Alliance mobile suits all have beam weaponry, as do the orb mobile suits. They both have like these laser rifle sort of things, which have to be like, I don't know, trying to predict. They're like 18 meters tall, so it feels like the beam is going to be shooting out car-sized vaporization rays, whatever.
Yeah, no, I see it. I see your point.
You have to figure what's the statistical chance that you're going to get hit arm on versus just totally on.
No, that's a very, very valid argument.
I have to think that the Earth Alliance now has the advantage, at least until we catch some unknown zaft developments. When discussing who Orb could possibly side with, Kira says that the Alliance would go on to attack the plants after this, and Zaft would likely do the same, implying both sides are still ready to fight.
Yep.
As far as new developments go, all we know is that Zaft built 2 Gundams that are now both in the hands of rogue forces, counting the Archangel as a rogue force.
Yep.
2 of their 4 captured Gundams are destroyed. One of them is in those same rogue force hands, leaving them only with Yazik's dual Gundam. Earth Alliance now has 3 Gundams with semi-unreliable pilots. That is still a 3-to-1 gap in Gundams in favor of the Alliance.
Yeah, like I don't understand what edge Earth forces think they have.
No, they do. They have the edge. That's the whole point of everything I just said.
Well, no, because right now the Archangel is the only group with the edge.
No, Archangel has the edge. It's not the only group with an edge. Also,
okay.
Archangel's not actively doing a thing. They're like moving, but they have like no goal or target. So
Yeah.
when it comes to warring factions, as I just said, Zaft has 1 active Gundam, and Earth Alliance has 3 active Gundams.
Yeah.
The only difference
no.
is that Yazik is a reliable pilot, however, with 0 wins to his name, versus 3 unreliable pilots who also have 0 wins to their name. I guess technically they have 1 win if you count the destruction of Orb as a win for them.
I think you do.
Technically, sorry, I gave you the space to hang yourself. I didn't mean for you to throw yourself out there. Technically, I don't think you do, because Asriel said specifically that they wanted to capture Morgan Rhett, which is the facility that makes the mobile suits for Orb. And
Yeah.
I have to assume that the self-destruction of Orb also includes the whole Morgan Rhett facility.
That might be the case, but it's still a win because the facility's gone.
Yeah, but Asriel seemed peeved about it, which means from a technical side for him, at the very least, it's not a victory. And you have to admit that those pilots are very unreliable. The whole drug situation, plus the whole they ran out of power. They basically retreated twice in 2 battles.
Well, also, that was very much, you could tell from Asriel's actions, that was very much test pilot-y stuff. He knew they weren't gonna last that long.
I don't know. I don't know. I have thoughts, but I think they would be circular thoughts. I think if I was to say everything I have in my head right now, we will just come back to where we are. So, So the 3 Alliance pilots, I don't remember where we came down on them being coordinators or drugged up naturals, as honestly both could still fit. It very much seemed like their addiction causes them pain, and that when the pain did manifest, they retreated back to the ship. The scene we get of Asriel talking about their punishment, where the camera looks at them bowed over themselves in an observation room, I have to think that they did get these guys addicted to something and are using the pain of the withdrawal as motivation. It seems to lean that way more than these guys are enhanced naturals serving their cause, in which case, if Asriel is really Blue Cosmos, then he might see this as forcing coordinators to be subservient to him, which seems to fit the Blue Cosmos credo.
Yes, because he's also said to be the head of Blue Cosmos, so that's already confirmed.
Well, I'm leaning more towards the ideology that coordinators are made to serve humanity. So if these guys are coordinators and then getting them addicted to drugs that are painful in withdrawal might be him forcing coordinators back under his foot.
I don't think that's the case. However, if it is, I'm all right with it.
You have not watched a lot of Star Trek, right?
No.
All right. Because in Deep Space Nine, there's the Jem'Hadar from the Dominion, which are addicted to Ketracel White, I think it is. Basically, if they don't, I think it's also like their food stuff, but it's technically a drug. And if they don't take it within a certain amount of time, they just like start to break down, both mentally and physically. But the Jem'Hadar are like the soldiers of the Dominion. So they've got an entire elite fighting force addicted to drugs, sort of thing.
Got it.
And it kind of reeks of that to me.
No, I definitely see the merit in that thought.
Last episode, we saw that Azrael wasn't willing to talk to Orb in between attacks, and Orb leadership cursing them for it. At the same time, just before the Alliance moved to attack Orb, Carpentera Base offered to talk to Orb, and they just ignored it. I know Kira went on the whole spiel of one side is as good as the other, as they both will leverage their success here to attack the other somewhere else. But it feels like that is throwing idealism ahead of survival. The Earth Alliance is attacking you in the now. The only additional aid you can get would be from zaft. Might as well answer their call and try to save as much of your homeland as possible, then cross the what comes after bridge as you approach it.
I get what you're saying. No, I don't. At this point, I don't disagree. I would have disagreed at any previous point of the conflict.
I mean, it's like if the fire department was blackmailing you, but your house is on fire. You know, get your house not on fire, and then we'll try and deal with the blackmail.
Well, it's an active rock and hard place argument is the problem.
Well, it's a lose everything or try not to lose everything argument, and it seems, of course, like they were well prepared to lose everything, considering that they were lining their whole place up with explosives the whole time. So,
well, they've already actively lost, right? Because like, what happens? Zaft can't stay there forever. That's the problem. They need unless you can post up and defend yourself for so long. What are you really gonna do?
So in my mind went many different directions the moment you start saying it. Because first off, I'm thinking, well, zaft has space superiority, which means they could drop into orb territory as necessary at a moment's notice. Also, they've got a carrier underwater nearby already, because Rao is down there listening and watching everything that's happening. Carpentera Base is literally, well, no, it's not in the same hemisphere. It's in the southern hemisphere, and Orb is in the northern hemisphere, but it's on the same side of the planet. It's fairly close by relative to everything else. I'd say it's close by as the Panama base was. So they've got the means, and the real life snappy part of me. It's like, oh, you might not understand this because you're Canadian, but Americans put down military bases everywhere in the country we've ever fought in. But yeah, no, I'm just saying. You're saying they've already lost, and I'm saying they didn't have to. They could have talked to zaft.
No, so at the point it's at, talking to zaft is a short-term solution.
Yeah, that's literally what I said. I said,
but like it's short-term to the point where it's pointless at this at the intersection that we're at, because it's like the idea if you have someone beating you up, and you talk to a bigger kid to walk you home from school, right? He'll cover you in that portion, but he can't stay by your side the whole time at school.
I don't think the metaphor works, only because zaft as a political entity could stay by your side the entire time at school.
Zaft as a political entity could, however, you can't. What I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. The metaphor doesn't work because it doesn't fulfill all the things of this real fake world scenario.
So the moment that you do not have someone at your side, you're screwed. And the longer they stay there, the more indebted you are to them.
Well, one, it's not the moment that you're not by your side, you're screwed. It's the moment they're not by your side that the other side is there, which means that both sides would have to have active military participants in an area, always on watch for the other side, a Cold War scenario, if you will.
Absolutely.
Which means that both sides are now dedicating something to this position, in which case they're not fighting elsewhere. And also, that just equals out to a stalemate, in which case you're still probably good.
What you're doing is you are just turning yourself into one political piece in a greater machine.
They already were.
Yeah, but it's a different type of piece. You're devaluing your piece when you do that. I think it was the correct call to do what they did.
Arguably not devaluing it. Zaft has already attacked you. And now Earth Alliance is attacking you. Literally, this is a John Constantine move, where you will sell your soul to both God and the devil, so that when you die, they can't take you.
Yeah. Agree to disagree.
Well, technically, you already agreed with me. Your first step was you agreed with me. So, with a little careful editing. I've been saying that the attempt to evacuate Flay from Alaska base must be the hint of something larger in her importance. She is the first character to ever discuss Blue Cosmos in the show, and now with Azrael, we've got a Blue Cosmos presence. I'm still of the mind that Flay has family or connections that want to see her safe, and might possibly be behind some of the stuff going on in the show. Rao saying that she might be the key he was looking for only pushes that theory that much closer to the truth for me.
Is she Azrael's daughter?
No, we know her dad.
Do we?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't remember? The reason she goes crazy is her dad dies literally on screen.
I do. I fully do. I'm just throwing. I'm just throwing it out there for possible theory craft. I don't think it's true.
They don't even share hair color. Once again, we get hit with the "what is it we should be fighting for" question. The past implication has always been the cycle of hate. That you get attacked, lose someone you care for, then strike back and make them lose someone they care for in a never-ending cycle. We've already pointed out that Kira himself is trapped in that cycle as well. I cannot foresee any way out of that cycle that I would be happy to see depicted on screen. The typical thing in shows like this is to suddenly become inhuman, by which I mean suddenly become a saint or holier than thou, in order to get past the sense of loss that would inspire you to seek retribution. If Gundam is going to proposition an answer to a problem that is actually very real, then I want them to answer it in a very real way as well.
Yeah. I don't want to see a holier than thou. If anything, I would be very happy if it ended with like a montage forward and the conclusion being the fighting never stopped.
I mean, my thoughts go to Witch from Mercury in this scenario. The Witch from Mercury show ends with basically like the people who are the cause behind all the bad stuff that happened getting put like in front of the public. Basically, like you have to answer to what happened. But the long shot of everything is nothing is really changing here. A couple of people are being made to answer for their crimes, but otherwise the system still goes on as normal. We didn't solve the problem. We just made a couple of people account for what their part in it was. Which is it's just a real way to handle things.
Correct.
Versus, again, the only thing I can imagine here is that we all become like the Buddha, right? We all instantly become uncaring about the physical realities and the things that we've lost and suddenly forgive everyone for everything that they've ever done. Because otherwise, how? How do you escape? You've described the problem. Unfortunately, the problem is all too human. So, where do you go?
I agree.
Other than that, you also have the board, which I forgot to bring up. Usually I bring up the board first. Where Justin isn't here yet, so I'm showing you the audience.
There we go.
The old board. Where I haven't added a bunch of the new people yet. However, scrolling down a bit, where I've tried to do the new layout, where new people are added, but I'm unsure if I've gotten all the connective lines in yet. It does get a bit more confusing.
Uh-huh.
Ironically, since the whole thing about all this was to make it less confusing. I don't even know if you can consider Orb even a faction anymore, but here they are. I also did try to align all the people that were civilians underneath the factions that they belonged to.
Got it.
In hindsight, giving Desert Dawn their own box kind of seems like it was a... Well,
yeah.
Desert Dawn has more civilians under it than it has members, so...
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Unless somehow Desert Dawn is connected to this group of unknown people over here with Lacus, which would be a weird call.
Well, I mean, unknown, it's just going to be a transitory area. Like, if they go to another faction, obviously this is going to be all blank. It also means I'm going to have to move all these lines around again. And of course, all the Haru-type things, civilians under the unknown.
Civilians under the unknown. Yep.
And, yeah, zaft, Archangel. Archangel is his own faction now, so it's a rogue state or whatever.
Yeah, no, I think they have to be counted as their own faction.
Well, I mean, they have everybody else, right? You have Atherin and Durka down here. Zaft, former Zaft, I don't know.
Well, Durka, I think, is more
Kiska.
confirmed. I'd put Durka more confirmed. Atherin, I don't know.
I mean, I just don't know. I mean, that's what I'm assuming next episode will tell us.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the relationship chart. Obviously, Dad over here is dead. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, also the connection here. Kira's parents. All the way over, coming up, and following the blue line to Kira. But also Kira has this other blue line coming out of them to Kigali.
His sister.
And yet, Kigali, blue line, tracing it, following, to Azumi, the dead dad. And you know what else? Not on the board here, but the picture Kigali got shown with a woman holding both Kira and herself. Not this woman.
Yeah.
Because she was like blonde or red hair or something like that. She had a different color hair, not purple.
So does that, within anime, does that mean that's a different person, or they changed their hair color?
Either.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's a different person. I'm pretty sure the face didn't look the same either. I'm going to assume it's a twins scenario.
I agree.
You've seen the movie Twins, I'm sure, right?
Yep.
Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
Brothers. Or twins, in fact.
It's true.
All right, well, without all that, I guess nothing left to do but to get on into it.
Absolutely.
あなた方にももうお分かりであろう。オーブが失われるのももはや時間の問題だ。
ジャンクション結合。カタパルト接続確認しました。
お父様、脱出は皆で。残してなどいけません。
Pretty sure you won't.
軍の命令に従って敵を撃つ。それでいいんだと思っていた。仕方ないと。
I mean, a good soldier would.
こんな戦争が一日でも早く終わるならと。
監視を上げ20、ローエングリーンスタンバイ。来るぞキラ、発進急いでください。
父とは別れるがお前は一人ではない。
Yeah, reddish or brownish.
Yeah, no, different face.
世界も奴らの言いようにはさせん。
See, I said, even his own words make it seem more of a denial of resources. This is another new opening?
I think so.
Yeah, but it's also very convenient timing to let your daughter know about a brother. Because since you're planning to commit basically suicide, you're not gonna have to answer any questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
I guess we're going full on Gundam 00 with this.
Oh, I'm what?
Bad girls become a bad girl.
I'm so confused. Okay, that confirms that. That just straight up says, "Hey, look at these people."
It's a better song than the other openings, I think.
Agreed. Sorry, there was some visuals in this opening that had me going, what? I don't see how we get there.
Well, I mean, the only questionable ones I had involved Lacus, and then she's like running off on her own, so who the hell knows? I had lingering questions about where the hell Bad Girl was, and apparently Bad Girl's gonna be leading the bad guys, so go figure that.
She's just fulfilling her bad girl destiny.
I mean, we had that whole commentary last opening about the fact that Bad Girl's walking away from the rest of the group, and I guess that's happened.
Yeah.
I'm imagining in all this time she's not actually telling him the brother-sister thing.
I think that's easily explained because it's just a moment of she's done with everything right now.
5つの区画に分けて中心部だけを行き来させてるのか。効率のいいやり方だな。
Okay.
アークエンジェルと似ているわ。
アークエンジェルが似ているのだ。親は同じモルゲンレーテだからな。
Which we already knew.
注意傷を出してもらえるか。
Yep.
はい。
エリカ・シモンズ主任。
こんにちは、少佐。慣れない宇宙空間での M1 運用ですもの。私がいなくちゃしょうがないでしょ。
現在我々がいるのはここだ。
Now the reason why I didn't mark everyone in orbit as dead. I assume a lot of them evacuated.
Yeah.
父とは別れるが、お前は一人ではない。兄弟もおる。
大丈夫？あ、今行く。
Let me continue not to tell you.
L4 のコロニー群へ。
草薙もアークエンジェルも当面物資に不安はないが無限ではない。特に水はすぐに問題になる。
Okay. Let's tell you about this place that we once harvested water from.
次々と放棄されて今では無人だが水場としては使えよう。
なんだか思い出しちゃうわね。
大丈夫さ。ユニウス7とは違うよ。
L4 にはまだ稼働しているコロニーもいくつかある。だいぶ前だが不審な一団がここを根城にしているという情報があってザフトは調査したことがあるんだ。
Okay.
すでにないが設備の生きているコロニーもまだ数機あるはずだ。
じゃあ決まりですね。
We have someone with inside information.
君は無論君だけじゃない。もう一人の彼もだが。
翔さん。
オーブでの戦闘は俺だって見てるし、状況が状況だしな。着ている軍服にこだわる気はないが。だが俺たちはこの先、状況次第ではザフトと戦闘になることだってあるんだぜ。オーブの時とは違う。そこまでの覚悟はあるのか。
Yeah, upcoming, yes, it could be Atherin.
誰の子
Right,
だって関
yes.
係ないじゃないか。アスランは。
軍人が自軍を抜けるってのは
It's a valuable
君が思ってる
question.
よりずっと大変なことなんだよ。ましてやそのトップにいるのが自分の父親じゃ。自軍の大義を信じてなきゃ戦争なんてできないんだ。それがひっくり返るんだぞ。そう簡単にいくか。彼は
It's war, man.
ザフトの正規の軍人だろう。悪いんだけどな。一緒に戦うんなら当てにしたい。いいのか。どうなんだ。
It's gotta be said.
いえ、プラントでも地球でも見て聞いて思ったことはたくさんあります。それが間違ってるのか正しいのか、何が分かったのか分かっていないのか、それすら今の俺にはよく分かりません。ただ自分が願っている世界はあなた方と同じだと今はそう感じています。
しっかりしてるね、君は。キラとは大違いだ。
Yeah, take that, Kira. Fuck you.
I am, yeah.
俺たちがオーブから託されたものは大きいぜ。
ええ。
こんなたった2隻ではっきり言ってほとんど不可能に近い。
そうね。
でも
Okay, so on this on the main character side, we have this ship and the Archangel.
強い火は消えないんでしょ。
プラントにも同じように考えている人はいる。
ロックス、
あのピンクのお姫様。
アスランの婚約者だ。
Yeah, she was.
彼女は今追われている。反逆者として俺の父に。
私たちはどこへ行きたかったのでしょう。
Technically not
何が
fiance.
欲しかったのでしょう。戦場で今日も愛する人たちが死んでいきます。私たちは一体いつまでこんな悲しみの中で過ごさなくてはな
What
ら
the?
ないのでしょう。
How?
戦いを終わらせなくてはなりません。
No, it had an on-off switch.
I'm so confused.
軍の重要機密を売り渡した反逆者なのです。戦いなど誰も望みません。だが、ではなぜこのような事態となったのでしょうか。思い出していただきたい。
Literally flanked by the same two people that flanked him the first time.
Yeah, this is just getting more and more of a totalitarian state.
Well, you recognize that was Siegel Klein who just died, right?
I do.
地球の人々と私たちは同胞です。コーディネーターは決して進化した違うものではないのです。婚姻統制を行ってもなお生まれてこぬ子供たち、すでに未来を作れぬ私たち、どこが進化した種だというのでしょうか。
悪意に満ちた情報に惑わされてはなりません。
And a declining birth rate doesn't mean that you're not better than other people.
現状を抱える様々な問題もいずれは我々の英知が必ず解決。
戦いをやめ、道を探しましょう。
そうか。
求めたものは何だったのでしょう。
だがまだ娘の方が残っておる。
幸福とは何でしょう。
こんなふざけた放送を
They can't.
一体いつまで許しておくつもりかね。
They could. They could literally just use one of those neutron jammers to shut down communications.
間違いなく待つものなのでしょうか。
苦しくとも今を戦い、そして平和で輝かし。
ラクスクラインには議長もだいぶ手を焼いておいでのようだな。
I'm just surprised they killed Seal like willy-nilly like that.
しかし、
Yeah.
私には信じられません。彼女が反逆者などと。そう思う者がいるからこそ彼女を使うのだよ、クライン派は。君たちまでがそんなことでどうするね。様々な人間の思惑が絡み合うのが戦争だ。
Is Yazek finally like being one step reasonable?
見誤るなよ。
You know about Yazik's always been reasonable. Just forget about like everything he's ever done in space.
Yeah, Yazek's the reasonable one.
He is. He's focused.
また移動ですのね。
はい、申し訳ありませんが。
いいえ、私は大丈夫ですわ。何か新しいお話は。
ビクトリアとオーブが地球軍の攻撃を受け、マスドライバーがオーブのものは破壊、ビクトリアのものは奪還されました。
ビクトリアには
Yeah, that place that we were fighting off screen. They won.
地球軍は新型のモビルスーツを
I mean, they talked about it. Why go after one when you could go after two?
Uh-huh.
私たちも急がねばなりません。
どうした？何？シーゲル様が？
Well, at least they're addressing it. I'm like, Blackus is like,
Uh-huh.
give a speech. My dad's dead.
いやいや、お見事でした。さすがですな、サザーランド大佐。
いえ、ストライクダガーは良い出来ですよ。オーブでアズラエル様が苦戦されたのは。
Azrael seems like he is going to be a bigger problem.
まだまだ課題も多く
Well,
て
I
ね。
mean, he's talking to Sutherland here. Sutherland is the one who organized the whole Alaska based thing.
Yeah.
本当にとんでもない国だね、オーブは。何考えてたんだか。
うまく立ち回って甘い汁だけ吸おうと思っていたんでしょう。卑怯な国です。プラントの技術も相当入っていたようですからな。いや、もしかしたらその2機、実はザフトのものだったのかもしれない。
どちらにしろあれは何とかしなきゃね。手に入れられるかな。
それでご自身で宇宙へと。
Eventually, we're going to get someone who realizes that you're just going to have to blow those machines up.
使ってるんじゃないかと思ってさ。
何ですと？
確証はないけど。
Literally what they've been trying to do most of the show.
Well, no, they've been trying to take them.
Take or destroy.
コーディネーターの作ったものですからな。確かに奴らなら
I think eventually you got to get rid of that take.
それが本当なら由々しき事態ですな。
おいおい、国防産業連合理事の僕の目を疑うのかい？
いえ、そのようなことは。
だいたい我々は弱い生き物なんだからさ。強い牙を持つやつはちゃんと閉じ込めておくか、繋いでおくかしないと危ないからさ。
He's a racist. because a coordinator beat him up as a kid.
Yeah.
頑張って退治してくるよ、僕も。
Those were sarcastic rules, by the way. Not for you, for the audience. They understand where I'm coming from. It's the stupidest shit. That's... Sai should be a racist right now. If that was what I was going with.
Yeah. Sai should be the big bad right now, if that's the case.
地球軍の背後にはブルーコスモスの名手ムルタ・アズラエルの姿がある。そしてプラントも今やコーディネーターこそが新たな首とするパトリック・ザラの手の内だ。
Kinda are.
アツだ。こっちも落ち着いたみたいだから。
It's ironic because in the Universal Century Gundam thing, I had myself drawn as Kira and Zabi, and you're basically Patrick Zala is the Kira and Zabi of this show.
Yeah.
キラ、ちょっといいか。
え、あ、じゃあ俺。
いいから色って。いや、言ってくれ。
どうしたの、かがり。
Did you ever watch Star Wars, Kira?
これ。
写真？誰の？
裏。
かがり。
Soft music plays.
お父様から渡されたんだ。お前は一人じゃない。兄弟もいるって。
I mean, honestly, I feel like if I was at the hospital, I would just do this one day just to freak somebody out in the future. Hey, could you hold my baby for real quick? Picture. Like, hold that forever.
That's funny.
I mean, really, there's no proof of anything there, right? Other than you had a pregnant, or you had a woman who just gave birth, hold another baby, possibly.
Wonder Swan. I love it.
本国は久しぶりだろう、イザーク。家族に顔を見せて安心させてあげたまえ。
は、ありがとうございます。早く座れよ。
I think they'd make a good couple.
怖がることはない。
Yes, I can play.
I see
obviously
it
not.
again.
Obviously not round play. Yes, I can play. Again, I don't know what the fuck this is about. It's like Rao, a clone of her dad.
I don't know. At least Rao is showing he respects boundaries.
Rao's gonna take out a picture from his pocket and it shows him as a baby and a little brown-haired kid next to him that says George and Rao.
赤ちゃんを抱いてる人は
お前と兄弟って。じゃあ私は。
My sister?
今は考えてもしょうがないよ、かがり。それにそうだとしても、かがりのお父さんは。
I guess the weird thing is, he's a natural and he's a coordinator.
Yeah.
ついててやった方が良くないか。いや。
No, she's my sister.
帰って考え込んじゃいそうだし。そうか。
No, you have the green light, bro. She's my sister.
I mean, unless she is a coordinator, she just doesn't know it, or...
I think she is.
Or Supermaning that shit, like, you know, keeping it blocked out.
アークエンジェルへ戻ったらシャトルを一機借りられるか。アスラ。俺は一度プラントに戻る。父と一度ちゃんと話し
Yeah. That's gonna turn into him talking to his dad and being used as a means to find Lacus.
俺の父なんだ。わかった。マリオさんたちに話すよ。すまない。
第2輸送船団ランディングシークエンススタンバイ。B 班は第5船団を早くパッドから移動
Oh yeah, lunar base headquarters of the Atlantic Alliance. Also where the military academy is that both Athrun and Kira
This is
graduated
giving
from.
like Empire from Star Wars vibes.
Oh, look,
especially
the third
music.
one. You have a third of these ships.
ダイナマ機動艦隊ナタルバジルール少佐参りました。
君にアークエンジェル級2番艦ドミニオン艦長を命ずる。
So okay, we have the evil Dominion and the good Archangel. Also, they really should have held off on giving us the new intro until after this episode, before they'd already spoiled the fact that Batgirl would be leading the bad guys.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
The HD I'm assuming it's going to be another case like they told us in the comments. The HD remaster fucked it up by giving it to us too early.
No, because that would have been a great tail off into the next the next episode's intro.
Okay, just, they did it too early.
Hey, sometimes it happens, you know? Sometimes there's been a long day and it's just a little too early.
Sorry, my brain's just not coming up with the word that it wants to use. Kegels. You gotta do your Kegels. My problem is I was thinking of Siegel Klein still, so I'm thinking Seagulls. No, it's not Seagulls. Kegels.
Oh, that's funny.
通るはずの言葉、つながるはずの思い、同じ夢を持ちながら隔たってしまう心、知るすべもない胸の扉の奥深くを見るとき、新たに生まれるものは絶望か希望か、すべてを飲み込んで飛び立つ船が示す未来は。次回機動戦士ガンダムシード、ラクス出撃、平和の歌響く明日へ、飛べガンダム。
Yes, that's the character. Lacus strikes.
Oh, okay. Hold on. So I'm gonna put something out here to try and fully grasp what I just saw. We went from, do you want to have tea? To my own color-coded ship.
No, I mean, we went from I heard you crying and I decided to comfort you in the hull. And I don't know why my door won't stay locked. I just keep wandering out to the hallway. The singing idol. To Lacus strikes. Yeah, what's the name of that woman? The woman that would do broadcasts during World War II for Japan.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of the name.
Something Rose or something like that. She's just like the voice of the resistance now or whatever.
Okay. If we get an episode after this, or after this Lacus strikes, that gives a full rundown of how the hell this became to be, I'll be fine with it.
I mean, we already got it. We've been here the whole ride.
Oh no, but like, we've never seen Black Widow Lacus up until now.
I mean, that's not Black Widow Lacus. I don't know where you're coming at from that one.
Like super spy.
No, she's the same person. She's just following her beliefs, that's all. Like, she said everything she's ever told Kiro, like, when he was recovering. It's just now she's wearing, like, a uniform for some reason. And obviously, it's not like she built her own color-coded ship. It's just a zaft ship that she's stealing. The same way that she stole the Freedom.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's out of the blue. Every step of the way. I was about to say makes sense, so I'm not going to use that word. Doesn't make sense, but there's a clear path from point A to point B to point C that you could follow.
I still think there does need to be some degree of explanation of like, well, this is what happened. This is like, because we've seen things from Lacus that are wholeheartedly unexpected.
Well, I think it's more Siegel. Siegel had this whole piece as the thing that we should be trying to achieve, and then Patrick overthrows him at the council, and then they discover that Spit Break isn't the operation it was meant to be, which means that everybody on the council that supported Siegel is now wanting answers from Patrick, but Patrick is seeing this loss of intel, or rather, the spread of intelligence that shouldn't be had by council members as like an insurrection against him, and so he outlaws those people, and thus the people that then supported Siegel are now like in an anti-faction against Patrick, even though they're being rounded up to be arrested and apparently shot. So that's where this whole military grounding underneath Lacus is coming from. It was meant to support Siegel, I'm guessing, but that Siegel's now dead. Lacus is now the heir to that, given that she was an idol, that her words are basically still her dad's, and
I get that.
People are supporting her anyways, so
that's not what so that's not what I'm pulling into question. What I'm pulling into question is how she's gone so far off the grid so fast. Unless her dad actively had precautions in place to be like, if something were to happen, X, Y, and Z is going to happen.
Well, no, it's the people. That's why I keep bringing them up. It's the people, the support network.
That's what I mean. Unless he had it set up with the support network.
No, the support network is just doing it. They're just, obviously you can say, having watched this episode, that no, he didn't. He died. His own support network didn't keep him safe. It's just, she's luckier. I guess he was primary target.
Yeah, no, like, again, I completely see where it could be coming from. It seems to have happened way too conveniently quick for my grasp of the degree to which it's happened.
I can see where you're coming from, but I don't think it's too quick, because literally in the back of my head, I've been thinking, where's Siegel? Like, we've seen elements of Lacus showing up, because obviously she had more connections to Kira and Atherin, but Siegel is just like vanished, and then all of a sudden in this episode it's dead.
So
it's not like a time problem. Like, they've had plenty of time to do all this. All they did was set up a radio.
No, so it's not even the thing. How long has it been in the show, or do we not know? From the moment that Lacus gave Kira the Gundam and it was discovered to now.
I mean, we don't know. But I guess you could like try and figure out travel time from the plant to Alaska, and then from Alaska to Panama, and then after that, it's not an inconceivable amount of time.
Yes. So if we're looking at weeks, then it's fine. Weeks or longer, then I get it. If it's anything less than like 2.5 weeks, that's so much setup in that amount of time. Because
I don't know that this is the kind of show where time is supposed to matter.
And I can fully accept that, but I
would mean from a perspective of, hey, we're setting up for this attack, we did this attack. Hey, we're setting up for this attack, we did this attack. The idea is that they set you up with the proposition that a thing could happen, and then they make a thing happen. More so than, hey, this thing is going to happen in 4 weeks. Now it's 4 weeks later and we're doing it.
Mm-hmm. That's just my... That's just the one thing that would fully set in... or fully legitimize what I'm seeing. That's it.
I guess my thing there is I don't think there's ever going to be a need from my end for legitimization, because either I'm going to accept it or I'm going to get hate comments.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
All right, well, I guess that being said then, once again, I have been Theta, this has been Justin, we've been Stone-Faced Reactions, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?